It is Y105, Dubuque's #1 hit music station. My name is Steve Pulaski. Don't call it a comeback. My next guest has been grinding in the music industry for decades. He's responsible for that irresistible late 80s jam Bust a Move and was one of the writers behind Tone Loc's Wild Thing and much, much more. His new single, Fun Part, is currently sitting at number 37 on the Billboard Rhythmic Airplay charts, marking his first charted single in 22 years. His name is Marvin Young, but you know him better as Young MC. How are we today, man?
Good, Steve. How are you, man?
I'm doing very well. Do you like to be called by your stage name or by your real name, first things first?
For the interview, the stage name is fine because they're not going to really find Marvin's music online. They're going to find Young MC's music online. So during an interview, it's just best that I go by my stage name.
Wanted to make sure, Young MC. Where were you when you found out Fun Part had charted, and how did you react to that?
Oh, wow. I was at home, and I was talking to my radio guy, and that chart you're talking about is the Billboard chart because we've been, moving up the rhythmic, not to get too deep in the weeds, but the rhythmic media-based charts, which is more like an industry chart that's more for the industry than the public. I've been moving up that chart slowly but surely, since we started pushing the record in August. So it's literally late October. Yeah, it was before the election. So basically late October when I get the call saying, you're going to come into Billboard, you're going to crack the Billboard Top 40. And I was just floored by that because it's something I'm doing myself. I don't have a label. I don't have any backing other than, myself and my team that I put together. And this opens up so many opportunities for me. So it's just, I was happy that all this had happened, but also really, I had really good positive expectations for what can come from this.
The song is terrific, too. The groove is undeniable. The lyrics are just enjoyable. Your flow is excellent. What is the fun part for you when it comes to making music?
Well, the fun part for me is still being able to make music at this age, being able to do whatever I want, not having a label or a manager or something like that to tell me like this is what you need to do. I'll take people's advice and I'll look in each direction, but the decisions I make are mine. And that's the fun part for me, because the dreadful part is getting on stage and performing something you really don't want to, or getting in the studio recording something you really don't want to, or following a trend that your team or your manager or your label thinks, this trend is where you need to go. And then from your own instincts and from the street that trend is over, or that trend doesn't suit you. So that's the fun part for me, is being able to do what I want and being recognized for it.
He's Young MC, that new single Fun Part available wherever you consume music. Highly recommend giving that a listen. A few more questions while I got you, man. What else have you got planned? Is there like a newfound pressure now to keep this momentum going? Are you going to continue to kind of maybe drop singles, for the next few months? Are you looking at an album? What's in store?
An album will come next year. Either in the spring or maybe top of summer next year, I'll have the album. I went into this process knowing that I was going to approach with singles because, let me see. The best way to put it is that I've seen people come out with albums and they'll be consumed in a day. And if people like a song, they'll pick out that song or a couple songs. And then the next album will come out from the next artist. And then all that work you did to put your album together is kind of, blown away in the wind. With the singles aspect, I can build. I had a single before Fun Part called Loose, and I was able to see the reaction to Loose to make Fun Part. And now seeing the reaction to Fun Part, I'm making my next single, which I'm going to break in the UK first and then come back to the States with. So by the time I do all of that, I'll be 3 singles in, and we'll be looking at the spring and probably, coinciding, fourth single, either coinciding with that or soon thereafter, I'll come with an album.
Are you going to hit the road and tour in conjunction with that album next year?
I'm touring already. The touring is really what's motivated all of this. The fact that I know I can go in the studio and when I'm making a song, I'm thinking about what it'll turn out like on stage. And I literally can be in my mind as I'm in the booth saying, oh, this will be great for a call and response aspect right here. Oh, this bottom end is going to sound good on arena speakers. Oh, this is going to be cool on the subwoofers. I'll be able to hear myself over this part of the verse really well. The crowd will be able to hear me really well. I'm thinking of all of that as I'm creating the music now. And in a 38-year career, I've never really thought like that up until today, or up until these new songs. So that makes me hype in terms of what the album is going to be like. because I don't. If you ask me for all the titles, I wouldn't be able to give them to you right now. But I know that there's a process to it in terms of fan reaction, audience reaction, radio reaction, industry reaction, all those things. That's got me really excited in terms of what I can use my experience to kind of build creatively.
I'm curious what you'd say about this, because you've obviously, you've been in the game for so long, too. You've seen different eras. You've seen different trends come and go. I guess speaking contemporarily, what is hip-hop lacking in your opinion, or is it lacking anything?
Well, every genre is lacking something. Every genre is lacking the next breakthrough artist or the next breakthrough sound, So if I'm able to, it's hard for me to say that it's lacking anything if I'm able to come back and chart with something that I made myself. If I can't break through at radio, can't break through in terms of the industry. Oh well, the hip hop needs somebody like me. I don't think I have the perspective to say what hip hop in general needs, other than creative artists that'll entertain fans and motivate other artists.
Who's somebody you like to listen to? A rapper, modern artist that you like to listen to? Maybe just for inspiration, or just because you think that they are really a creative voice that deserves to be heard.
Well, the big three, obviously. I mean, J. Cole, Drake, Kendrick. Kendrick in particular, because I knew the stigma that was attached to West Coast rappers when I was rapping on the West Coast. So to see his lyricism praised the way that it is, and him being based in Southern California, is like, that warms my heart, because that's what I was really fighting to do. Even as I was making the pop records, I wanted to show that I was a strong MC that was coming out of L.A. So that's why I was, a really fond place in my heart for Kendrick.
You got to be careful what you read on the internet, young MC, so I want to ask you this. Is it true that when you attended USC, you rapped over the phone to a couple executives, and that's what resulted in your record deal?
Yes. Literally, I rapped on the phone, and they mailed me a contract a week later. And I was in Student Senate, and I chose to go to the Student Senate that represented the law school. So he was still a law student, and I gave him the contract, a guy named Dave Simon, for him to look over. Yes, that whole story is true.
What was that feeling of validation like?
When? What getting it's still the contract, God bless him, but it's the music business, so the contract's still reasonably oppressive, especially you're a college student that has all this stuff to look forward to with your chosen career and chosen degree, but you're going into a business that is known for screwing artists over. So I guess the validation, would be when people like the music, or when I got the Grammy, or when it went platinum, or what. I mean, there's different places. I even had a sense of validation for seeing something that I wrote for Tone Loc and having him go multi-platinum with it and get accolades for it and get that played on radio and that kind of thing. So there's not been much time to step back and smell the roses with this for me. I've always kind of tried to keep it moving, because I feel like the way to capitalize on an up moment is to keep moving when you're up. You don't stand still when you're up.
Wise words. He is Young MC. His new single, Fun Part, available wherever you consume music. It's been a true pleasure to talk to you, Young MC. I want to give you the final word, though. Promote your website. Where can people find your music? Where can people find out more about you? Tour dates, everything. Floor is yours.
For touring, the I Love the 90s tour, we're still going out and doing dates. I'm moving around the country quite a bit. You may even see me at a private event here or there. YoungMC.com is the website. But what I really need to get, and what I'd like to get from your audience and all audiences I talk to, is my Instagram. My Instagram is YoungMC89. If you choose to, please follow me. I put up great stories and all the things that are progressing in my career, and videos from the road and stuff like that. I got a good team working with me, but Young MC 89 on Instagram, that's the best way to follow me and see what's going on with Young MC.
He's the one and only Young MC. I greatly appreciate your time, man. I wish you nothing but continued success. You deserve it.
Thank you, sir. Take care.